The Certificate in Education and Training is a level 4 teacher training qualification for those who want to teach in the further education and skills sector. These would be teacher trainees who would want to teach learners aged 14 and above. These learners could be in a college or in a training organisation or in an adult and community learning setting or even in prison.
Yeah, there are many contexts you can actually be in to take this qualification, but you need to demonstrate at least 30 hours of teaching practice with your own learners, and then you need to evidence that and be observed for at least 3 hours by somebody who will come along and give you hopefully constructive and positive feedback about how you're doing and how you can progress any further. You will also have to cover what we call the minimum core, which is aspects of literacy, language, ICT and numeracy. And teachers should really be good at those themselves so they can help their own learners improve them. The book covers all the mandatory units of the qualification, although there are some optional units which are briefly covered. The mandatory units are the main ones.
There they are, yeah. I mean, the mandatory units cover areas such as planning for the needs of your learners, then how you're going to put together a session plan, a scheme of work and a session plan for those learners, what sort of approaches you're going to take when you're delivering your sessions. Again, all linked back and based to the identification of the learner needs in the beginning. How do you assess that? How do you check that the learners have learned what it is that you've been teaching them? And then taking stock really and evaluating where the learner is and whether any future planning that's going to happen needs to be adjusted to continue, for the learner to continue their learning.
Each chapter covers all the elements of the units of the qualification, and at the end of each chapter is a cross-referencing grid showing which has been covered, so that will help them when they're structuring their sessions. And also at the end of each chapter is a theory focus which will signpost towards other books, towards websites, towards journals and other aspects that both they and the learners could look at.
I've taught the course, the Certificate in Education and Training course, and the things I found the most useful were definitely the examples and the activities, and I've used the activities for learners either to do in group sessions, you know, during the teaching session, or giving them the activities to do in their own time. And the other aspect that's really helpful is definitely the templates. As teacher trainees go back to their own organisations, they will have their own paperwork, but having something that the learners can look at and adapt and adjust to suit the qualification and what they use within their organisation is really useful.
We have, yes. There is this book called Passing Assessments for the Certificate in Education and Training, and we've put together another little short video if you'd like to watch it to find out all about this book.
And there's this book, Equality and Diversity book, that supports one of the optional units. So if you chose this as your optional unit, this book would be a really good resource for you to have.